small gap, right? So what we were discussing in our social now? We are learning about the torrid zone, right? So in the torrid zone, we have discussed about the two different landforms, that is about the equatorial rainforest and the tropical deserts, right? So in today's class, we are going to recall this both things, okay? We are going to recall all the concepts we have learned in the equatorial rainforest and also in the tropical deserts, okay? So first let us start with the equatorial rainforest. So what are the things we have learned in equatorial rainforest? Where this equatorial rainforest is located? It is located along the equator, right? Between 10° north and 10° south latitudes. So equatorial rainforests are located between the 10° north and 10° south latitudes. And in that we have discussed how is the climate of this equatorial rainforest, how is the plant life, and how is the life of the people in this equatorial rainforest, right? So shall we recall all those things? First say me, how is the climate? It is hot, humid and wet throughout the year. So what do we mean by hot, humid and wet throughout the year? So this equatorial rainforest is located near the equator, right? So we know near the equator the climate is very hot. So here the climate is hot, humid and wet throughout the year. And then see, it does not experience winter season. There is no winter season, and each and every day the climate is same. That is what. In the morning it will be very hot, and then every day afternoon we will get rain, right? Same will continue for each and every day. So the climate remains the same for all the day, and there is no winter season at all. So it receives 4 o'clock rain. What is that 4 o'clock rain? In every afternoon, this equatorial rainforest is receiving rain. So we call that rain as 4 o'clock rain, right? So this is the climate of the equatorial rainforest. Then we have seen how is the plant life of this equatorial rainforest, right? So how is the plant life? There is a dense growth of trees. Why there is dense growth of trees? Because it is receiving enough amount of sunlight and rain every day, right? So there is a large number of trees in this equatorial rainforest. And see, trees shed their leaves in different time of the year. So how is this leaves shedding their leaves? All trees will not shed their leaves at the same time. If one group of trees are shedding leaves in this month, then another set will shed their leaves at another different month only. At that time, those trees which have shed their leaves before will get new leaves, right? So trees will not shed their leaves at the same time. So it looks green throughout the year, okay? So it is otherwise known as evergreen forest, okay? Trees will not shed their leaves at the same time. So it is the tree is always seen green throughout the year. So it is called as evergreen forest. And also at last, trees grow in many layers. We have learned 4 layers of this plant growth in equatorial rainforest, right? What are they? The forest floor, then the understory layer, then the canopy layer and the emergent layer, right? So forest floor means the floor, that is the layer that is very close to the ground. Then here there is no sunlight at all. Sun rays will never reach this layer, right? And then understory layer, the layer just above the forest floor is this understory layer. We can see small ferns and shrubs in this understory layer, right? And then canopy layer, which is the primary layer, right? This is the most important layer of this equatorial rainforest. And above that, we have what this canopy layer is doing. It forms an umbrella and it covers all the other 2 layers behind them, right? And at last, emergent layers. Only some trees will grow beyond the canopy layer, okay, in search of the sunlight and water. So those trees will form the emergent layer. So these trees are grown in many layers, okay. So these are the things we have learned in the plant life. Now let us see how is the life of the people in this equatorial rainforest. How it is happening. This is a home to different tribes. So the people who live in the forest, we will call them as what? Tribes. They are not civilized, right? So it acts as a home to many tribes. And how these tribes are living? They are dependent on the forest for food, shelter and medicines. They are totally dependent on the forest for their daily food, then for their shelter and for their medicines also. And what are the occupation they are doing to get their daily food? See what they will do? They are hunting fish and other small animals, and also they will gather fruits, berries and roots. So for their daily food, they will hunt fish and other small animals and also gather fruits, berries and roots. And at last they are practicing a type of cultivation. So what do you mean by shifting cultivation? Yes, they will burn all the plants and shrubs in a particular piece of land, and they will grow crops in that piece of land for 1 or 2 years, and once the fertility of that layer is over, what they will do? Again, they will burn all the plants and trees in that piece of land, and they will shift to another piece of land. So this kind of cultivation is called as shifting cultivation. So they are practicing shifting cultivation, and the crops that are grown here are maize, rice, vegetables, palm and cassava. These are the crops we can see in this equatorial rainforest, and also we can get minerals like copper and iron also in this equatorial rainforest. Okay, so copper and iron are the minerals found in this equatorial rainforest. So mining is also done here. Okay, so these are the things about the equatorial rainforest. Now you have clear idea, right? How is the climate of equatorial rainforest? How is the plant life of equatorial rainforest, and the life of the people in the equatorial rainforest, right? So now I will play you a video that will give you a better understanding of this equatorial rainforest, okay? And then we can learn about the tropical deserts.
The equatorial rainforests. The equatorial rainforests are mainly found around 10 degrees north and 10 degrees south latitudes. These rainforests are found in Africa, South Asia, the Amazon River basin of South America, Indonesia, Malaysia, and some parts of Australia and India. The climate in the equatorial region is hot, humid, and wet throughout the year. The days are hot and it rains every afternoon. This rainfall is often called the 4 o'clock shower. This region does not experience winter. The length of the day and night is equal throughout the year because the rays of the sun shine vertically on the equator. The equatorial rainforests are dense because of the climatic conditions. In most forests, the trees shed their leaves around the same time. However, in the equatorial rainforests, the trees shed their leaves at different times of the year. Hence, these forests appear green throughout the year. This is also the reason why they are called evergreen forests. The trees in evergreen forests grow in layers. Let us know more about these layers. The lowest layer of the forests is called the forest floor. The growth of plants is poor as very little sunlight reaches this layer. The layer above the forest floor is called the understory. It is a dark and damp layer consisting mostly ferns, shrubs, and shorter plants. This layer also receives less sunshine. Canopy is the layer that forms a roof over the other layers. The trees have smooth oval leaves and form an umbrella shape or canopy over the forest. The canopy does not allow sunshine to reach the forest floor during daytime. Some trees in the equatorial rainforests are very tall. These trees grow to a height beyond the canopy layer in search of sunshine. This layer is the emergent layer. The trees are mushroom-shaped and receive plenty of sunshine and rain. There is a lot of diverse vegetation which grows in the equatorial rainforests. As a result, a wide variety of animals live here. The equatorial rainforests are home to many plants and animals. Some animals like African elephants, mandrills, and great apes like orangutans, gorillas, and chimpanzees are found in the equatorial rainforests of Africa. Anaconda, piranha, jaguar, spider monkey, sloth, howler monkey, and birds like macaw and toucan are found in the Amazon rainforest of South America. Kangaroo, duck-billed platypus, and birds like kookaburra and cassowary are some animals found in the rainforests of Australia. Gibbon, tiger, bat, king cobra, python, and birds like sarus crane and swift are some animals found in the rainforests of Southeast Asia. The equatorial rainforests are also home to many different tribes who depend on the forests for food, shelter, and medicines. Some tribes speak different languages. They hunt fish and other small animals and gather fruits, berries, and roots. They practice shifting cultivation. In this type of cultivation, farmers clear a patch of forest by cutting trees and burning plants. Once the land loses its fertility, the tribal people abandon it and clear a new patch. Shifting cultivation is used to grow crops such as maize, rice, vegetables, palm, and cassava. The equatorial rainforests are very important. They produce oxygen and remove excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. As a result, the Amazon rainforest is often called the lungs of the earth. In recent times, many factors have threatened the existence of these rainforests around the world. Population growth and the need for making more houses have led to clearance of rainforests. Forest land is also being cleared for agriculture and construction of railways, roads, and mining. Forest fires is another reason for the loss of forest cover.
Yes, children, now you have a clear idea about equatorial rainforest, right? Now let us discuss about the tropical deserts, okay? So where is this tropical desert located? It is between 10 degree and 30 degree north latitudes in the North Pole and also in between 10 degree south and 30 degree south latitudes in the South Pole, right? So if the equator is like this, it is at 0 degree, right? So above that somewhere we have 10 degree north latitude. Here we have 30 degree north latitude. Similarly in the south side also we have 10 degree south latitude and 30 degree south latitude, right? So the area in between this 10 degree and 30 degree north and south latitudes are known as what? Tropical deserts. So why we are saying this as deserts? How we will classify an area as a desert? So if an area is receiving less than 25 centimeter of rainfall, then we will call it as what? Deserts, right? So this tropical deserts will also receive very less rainfall or else no rainfall, okay? Now let us discuss about the climate, plant life and the life of the people in this tropical deserts, okay? Now say me, how is the climate? It is very hot and dry. We know, right? Deserts makes itself, it is very hot and dry. So in the morning it will be very hot and at night it will be very cold, right? So see, it receives little rainfall. Strong dry winds blow over the region during the daytime. It receives only very little rainfall and there will be no humidity in the air at all. And also strong dry winds. Okay, dry winds will blow through the entire desert region during the daytime. So that's all about the climate. Now what we have learned in the plant life? So all the trees, animals, whatever living there will have some special features to adapt to the climatic conditions of the desert, right? So see, how is the plant life? Trees and shrubs have spine-like leaves which help to avoid loss of water. So whatever trees that are growing here will have spine-like leaves. You know, right? Cactus is there. We are familiar with cactus, right? So you know the shape of that cactus leaves, no? Why they are having those spine shape? Because it will reduce the loss of water. Okay, so trees and shrubs have spine-like leaves which help to avoid loss of water, and also they have long roots. Okay, the roots will be very long so that they can go in search of water. So long roots help trees and shrubs to absorb water from the soil. And lastly, most of the trees store water in the trunk. They used to store the water in the trunk when they are getting water. Okay. For example, baobab tree can store up to 1000 liters of water in its trunk. Okay. So these are the adaptations that the trees are having to live in this deserts. Okay. And also we have seen how the animals are living, right? How the animals are adapting to the desert conditions. Yes, some animals will hide under the rocks or bushes during the daytime, and they will come out in search of food only at the night time, because the daytime it will be very hot. So to escape from that heat, it will do like that. And some other animals will dig hole under the mud and they will hide there. And also some other animals like some desert frog, what it will do? It will sleep for months, right? So it will sleep for months to escape from this hot condition. So these are some of the adaptations that animals are having to escape from the hot climate of the desert. Okay. Now let us see how is the life of the people in this tropical deserts. So where the people are living, they will construct small tents and they will live there. So they do not settle down at one place for a long time. Why they are living in tents? Because they will not settle down at the same place for a long time, because there is a scarcity of food and water, right? So when they are finding food and water in one particular place, they will stay there temporarily and again they will shift from that place. Okay. So what are the occupation they are doing? Their main occupation are animal rearing, trading and farming. And then see the tribes, those are living in these deserts are Bedouins and the of the Arabian and Sahara deserts and the Bushmen of the Kalahari desert. So the tribes here are Bedouins of the Arabian and Sahara desert and the Bushmen of the Kalahari desert. Okay. So where they will do their farming? A place near oasis. What is oasis? Oasis is an area in a desert where we can find water. Okay, so farming is done near the oasis, and which is the animal they are used for traveling? Camels, right? So camels are used for traveling, but nowadays with the growth of technology, they have so many jeeps and other vehicles to travel in the desert. So nowadays camels are used only for tourist attraction. Okay, so these are the things about the people in the tropical deserts. Okay, so now we know clearly about how is the climate, how is the plant life, and how is the life of the people in the tropical deserts, right? So now watch a small video that will help you to better understand about this tropical deserts. Okay.
The tropical deserts. Do you know that some of the hottest places in the world are located in the tropical zone? The tropical zone is home to many hot deserts, like the Sahara Desert in Africa, the Arabian and the Thar deserts in Asia, the Great Australian Desert in Australia, and the Atacama and the Patagonia deserts in South America. The hot deserts are found between 15 degrees and 30 degrees north and south of the equator. The tropical deserts experience a hot and dry climate. They receive little rainfall and strong dry winds blow over the region during the day. The temperature during daytime is very high. The sand heats up during daytime. In summer, the temperature may rise up to 50 degrees Celsius during the day. At night, the temperature decreases as the sand cools down very quickly. Nights are very cold in winter, and the temperature may drop to less than 10 degrees Celsius. The vegetation in the hot deserts have adapted to this extreme climate. The trees and shrubs have spine-like leaves, which help to avoid loss of water. The long roots of the desert trees absorb water stored deep within the soil. Most trees store this water in the trunk. It is believed that the trunk of the baobab tree found in the Kalahari Desert can store up to 1,000 liters of water. Cactus, acacia, and baobab are some trees which grow in hot deserts. Date palm is a common tree found mostly in the Arabian desert. Animals have also adapted to the tropical climate in various ways. Some animals, such as lizards, hide under rocks in the shade during daytime. These animals come out in search of food only at night when it is cooler. The desert frogs sleep for days under rocks till the hot and dry period is over. The kangaroo rats bury themselves in the ground to escape the heat. Antelopes, scorpions, gazelles, desert foxes, jackals, and hyenas are some animals found in hot deserts. Camels are used for traveling in the desert region. Camel is called the ship of the desert. But in present times, the use of camels has reduced. Now they are mostly used as tourist attractions. Most people use jeeps and other vehicles to carry goods for trade. People who live in hot deserts have also adjusted to the extreme climate. People who live in the deserts do not settle at one place for a long time due to scarcity of water. They live in temporary homes like tents or huts. They frequently travel along with their belongings. They practice animal rearing, trading, and farming. The Bedouins of the Arabian and Sahara deserts and the Bushmen of the Kalahari desert live such a life. Many people work in the mining sector as this region is rich in minerals. The Sahara desert is rich in iron ore, copper, and petroleum. Petroleum is also found in the Arabian desert.
Now children, let us do the book back exercise, okay? So take page number 37 from your social students book, okay? Take page number 37 from your social students book. Ready? So see what is the first Roman letter. Write down the following features in their respective category. So they have given us some features and we have to write whether they belong to equatorial rainforest or tropical deserts. Okay, shall we start? What is the first one? See, a humid climate. So to which region humid climate belongs to? Equatorial rainforest or tropical deserts? Yes, it belongs to equatorial rainforest, right? So write humid climate in equatorial rainforest. Okay. Now see B, scanty rainfall. What is the meaning of scanty rainfall? It means less rainfall, right? So which region receives less rainfall? Tropical deserts, right? So write scanty rainfall in tropical deserts. Now see question C, 4 o'clock rain. Where we can see 4 o'clock rain? Yes, very good. In equatorial rainforest, right? So write 4 o'clock rain in equatorial rainforest. Then question D, evergreen trees. Where we can see evergreen trees? Yes, in equatorial rainforest. So write evergreen trees also in equatorial rainforest. Now E, rich wildlife. Where we can see rich wildlife? In equatorial rainforest or tropical deserts? Yes, in equatorial rainforest, right? So again write rich wildlife in equatorial rainforest. Now question F, dense growth of trees. Where we can see large number of trees? In equatorial rainforest, right? Very good. Right, dense growth of trees in equatorial rainforest. Now question G, oasis. Where we can see oasis? What is oasis? A small area where we can see water in desert, right? So it comes under tropical deserts. So write oasis in tropical deserts. And at last question H, mining occupation. Where mining occupation is done? Yes, very good. In tropical deserts. So write mining occupation in tropical deserts. Done? Yes, now come to match the following. See what is the first question? Layer of branches which form a roof over the equatorial rainforest. Which layer is that? Very good. Canopy. Option B. Put number 1 in option B. Now second one. A patch of water surrounded by plants found in the tropical deserts. Just now we discussed. What is that? Yes, very good. Oasis. Option D. Put number 2 in option D. Yes, now third one, a type of cultivation carried out in the rainforest. What type of cultivation is carried out in rainforest? Yes, very good. Shifting cultivation. Put number 3 in option A. And now question number 4, people who live in the Kalahari desert. How we call them? Yes, very good. Bushman. Option E. Put number 4 in option E. And at last, ship of the desert. Which animal is the ship of the desert? Yes, camel. Very good. Put number 5 in option C. Done? Yes, children. Now I hope that you have a clear idea about the equatorial rainforest and the tropical deserts, right? So, in the next class, we will have a small test on this lesson, torrid zone, okay? So, prepare well. If you have any doubts, contact me, okay? Thank you.